Okay guys, so we're gonna go ahead and just get right into these ponytails. The first hairstyle I'm gonna do is kind of a half up, half down. The only difference is that it's going to have two little twists hanging down on the sides. And you'll see as I'm pulling everything up, I like to try and make sure that I have the same twist up on each side, because if not, then when you look at them from the front, things won't be even. And you have to kind of pull them a little bit. If you have some that are kind of sticking up and not wanting to lay down, then you kind of pull on them a little bit just to make sure that they are able to lay down. But I also kind of like things to look a little wild and wacky too. See how I'm pulling it right there? There we go. Now typically when I do my twist outs, my 2-strand twists, I don't usually use a lot of product to keep them stiff, I guess you should say, or to keep them from getting too overly fuzzy, because the product always seems to build up in my daughter's hair. So I don't use a ton of stuff to keep them from getting too frizzy, but you do what works for you. So I always usually end up doing some sort of hairstyles with it, just to switch it up a bit. So in this one, I'm doing the same thing, half up, half down. The only difference is I'm gonna have 2 twists coming down in the front instead of on the sides. Just tightening it, getting them all positioned where they want. She's showing her stuffed animals. And there you go. Now for the next style, I'm gonna go ahead and go with 2 ponytails instead of just the 1. So it'll be 2 ponytails up top on each side. And I always try not to make them too tight, because I don't want too much tension on her hair when they're in these ponytails, because the main purpose of doing these types of hairstyles is so that you don't have a lot of tension on the hair. But once you get them up into the ponytails, you see it's just super quick, easy hairstyle. And if you want, you can add some accessories to these, just to give it a little pop. We love bows. So you can put a bow on each side if you have some bows. If you don't have any bows, then barrettes would work too. Or balls. Those little balls that people like to use. We have those too. We use those sometimes. She's a big fan of bows though. The next style is pretty similar to that one. The only difference is, instead of letting the twist hang, I'm going to wrap them around. Now, there's all different types of ways you can wrap them around, or you can just put them in little buns instead of balls. Whatever you want to do, whatever you're most comfortable with, or whatever you like, works just fine. But I think for this video, I just chose to just wrap them around, just to be pretty quick, because you see how fast it is just to wrap them. Obviously you're gonna want to try to make sure that they look somewhat alike. And then I always try and leave 2 twists hanging down kind of like a little bang. And then if you want, you can add bows or ribbons to your balls as well. And leave the back down. The next hairstyle that I'm going to do is one ponytail, but instead of leaving out any kind of twist in the front, I'm gonna go ahead and put it all up into the ponytail. So you're gonna see me do that. And all of these are really just variations of similar hairstyles, but they all give a little slightly different look, as you'll see. I'm sure she shakes it out. And I also always try and make sure, like I said, that I'm trying to get the same amount up into the ponytail on each side so that there's not a stray twist just hanging out of place. And if you want, you can put a little bow in, and you are good to go. For this last one, it's pretty similar to the two ponytails that I did before. Only difference is we're gonna leave two twists out in the front. And I also put all of it into the two ponytails. So there's none down in the back. It's just gonna be two ponytails and two twists out in the front. Very easy to do. So you have the two twists and the two ponytails, and then you can add some bows, and you have yourself a cute hairstyle. And if you want, you can slay those edges. I typically like to keep things as is. I don't really do too much, but that's pretty much it. Those are the hairstyles that I like to do as twist outs. I mean, with twists in my daughter's hair. other than just letting it be free and down. So I hope you guys liked this video. If there's any other videos that you would like to see, just let me know. And don't forget to like this video and leave me a comment, and also subscribe to my channel. It looks like she liked all the styles.